let the record reflect the homeowner's laughing.
Don't know what she's laughing about though. Interpreter. Interpreter.
Yes. Sure. Yeah. So,
Yes.
no, this way. Is there a chance they can take away the
Judge, if you
fine?
can start from the beginning, she asks how much is the violation so he can translate for you.
Is there a way that the fine can be taken away? Can they take away the fine? You, you have to get the permit. You have to get the permit. I know, she says. Without a permit, you cause a rupture in the line, gas line. You have 30 days to do it. In 30 days, you have to report to me. So she says, so I have to fix it. When I get it, do I get in touch with you? She says. Uh, if they fix it for me, she says.
May I continue with questioning of Officer Perez?
Yes.
I'll wrap up. Officer Perez, when you first arrived on scene, how far were you away from the property?
I was adjacent from the property in the middle of the street.
So across the street, adjacent to the property. Could you smell the gas when you first arrived?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you have an opportunity to speak to the homeowner?
Yes.
Have you ever cited this property before?
Yes.
And what did you cite them for, if you recall?
The prior citation was for storing a tar kettle for roof repairs on the side of the property.
Now, do you know if the other homeowner, what he does for a living?
From my understanding and prior conversations with the homeowner, they are roof repairers.
And did you ever have the opportunity to speak to the homeowner who is here regarding permitting for the property?
Yes.
And can you tell the court what the conversation was about?
She advised that...
Is it the same one on the tape?
No.
No.
Okay.
She advised that she would get the permit and that they would go ahead and get that done. At that point, she advised that they did it the same day, which wasn't the case. The permit wasn't put in for until February 11th, if I...
Now, let me stop you for a second.
Okay.
The day of February 5th, she stated that she was going to be getting that permit that day of after the fact?
Correct.
Okay.
Después de que sucedió.
You may continue.
So if I recall correctly, she actually didn't apply for the permit until February 11th of this year. At that point, the permit is still pending as of today. It has not been processed and has not been issued.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Officer Perez, do you recognize that piece of paper?
Yes.
Can you please describe what it is?
This is the permit application through Eden, showing the date that was applied for.
And what is the date?
February 11th, 2019.
Did you pull that yourself?
Yes.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the actual date that the permit was pulled?
Yes.
Judge, we'd like to introduce this into evidence. Now, did you go back to the property yesterday, February 19, 2019?
Yes.
Exhibit admitted.
Thank you. Do you recognize those photos?
¿Reconoces esas
Yes,
fotos? Sí.
How do you recognize them?
I took them.
Yo tomé esas fotos.
And what are they photos of?
¿Qué muestra?
They're photos of the fence now completed on the side
Muestran
and the rear.
ahora la CFC
Are those photos
completada que
a fair and
usted tiene
accurate
pasada.
depiction of the photographs you took yesterday of the property?
Son fotos
Yes.
que usted tomó ayer, sí.
Judge, the city would like to introduce the photographs taken yesterday by Officer Perez into evidence. Now, Officer Perez, you stated that you checked and the permit was still
Usted chequeó y el permiso
not
todavía
given
no
to the
había salido,
homeowner, correct?
¿verdad?
Correct.
And even still, after everything that happened that day, she went ahead and built the fence, correct?
Yes.
Still in
Aún- aún
violation
así, ella hizo la-
of
la cerca
5-32. Did you
y
give her a ticket
es
for
en
that?
violación.
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you know if the homeowner recently purchased this property?
La
Yes.
dueña
Do you
recientemente
know
compró la
if
propiedad.
there is a school in the area?
¿Sabe que hay una escuela
Yes,
en
there's
el
an
área?
elementary school across the street.
Hay una escuela
Okay.
cruzando la calle.
Now, you had a conversation with the
Usted habló
homeowner
con
towards the end when you cited her for.
Excuse me, let me go back for a moment. Was this a school day?
Yes, it was.
Alright, do you know if any precautions at all were ordered for the school?
I'm not sure.
¿Hicieron unas órdenes de precaución para la escuela? No.
Now,
No lo sé, dice.
one second.
How far, Counselor, was the school?
¿A qué distancia queda la escuela?
Less than a block away, it was down the block.
Menos de una cuadra.
And Your
Makes
Honor, if I
sense.
may approach, you have some of my.
I do.
Yes, that I previously given to you. And is Your Honor, the city would like to ask Your Honor to take judicial notice of the paid ticket
Yo quisiera que la.
that was paid.
Pues vea el ticket este.
How much was the fine on this citation?
I'm sorry, Judge?
How much was the fine on this citation?
So that was citation was for $500.
And this
Eh,
was
la
for
multa fue
the
$500
event occurring on February 5th?
por el evento de febrero.
The first citation was for the event on the 5th. The second citation was for the continuance of the work
Por continuar el
dated February 19th.
febrero
Okay,
19.
so this one was for the work without a permit as you observed it on February 5th.
Correct.
Entonces, por el-
Okay. And they paid $500.
sí,
Correct.
Okay.
Now, Officer Perez, when you spoke to the homeowner, what was her
Cuando-
demeanor like that day?
Habló con el
Um,
dueño de casa. ¿Cómo era el comportamiento de ella?
In a way, careless.
En
And
realidad era como
We-
que
Why would-
tenía cuidado, no le importó.
Go
I
ahead,
don't
Judge.
need him to characterize
No quiero que
her
caracterice.
demeanor because I saw it on the video.
Yo lo
Okay,
vi en el video.
And
no
that
quiero
video
que
would be the
nada.
better evidence of that.
no problem.
Alright.
No further questions for this
No hay
officer.
más preguntas.
Judge, I'd also like to question the homeowner.
Okay.
Le va a hacer preguntas a usted.
Ma'am, can you please state your name for the record?
Diga su nombre para el acta.
Bessie Manuel,
Bercy Manuel.
And what do you do for a living?
¿Cómo se gana la vida?
limpiando casa.
I clean houses.
Now, do you live at 12155 North Miami Avenue, North Miami, Florida, 33168?
¿Usted vive en esa dirección
Sí.
que acaba de decir? Yes.
How long have you been living there?
¿Hace cuánto que vive allá?
Cumplí un año que la compré.
1 year since I bought it.
Who all lives in your home?
¿Quién más vive en su casa?
Mi esposo y mis dos hijos.
Hijos, hijas.
Un hijo y una hija.
My husband and 2 children.
What does your husband do for a living?
¿Su esposo en qué trabaja?
En techo.
He does roofing.
Do you know how long he's been doing roofing?
¿Hace cuánto que trabaja en techo? ¿Sabe?
Como 6 años.
About 6 years.
Now, you were called and you arrived at your home on February 5th, 2019 regarding a gas leak, correct?
En febrero 5 del 2019 la llamaron a usted por un líquido de gas, ¿no es verdad? Yes.
Did you know that you needed a permit to install this fence on your property?
¿Sabía que usted necesitaba un permiso para instalar esta cerca en la propiedad?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you apply for a permit?
¿Había solicitado permiso?
No.
No.
Did you say on February 5th, 2019 to the officer that you had applied for a permit?
En febrero 5 usted le dijo al oficial que usted había aplicado para un permiso.
No.
No.
What did you tell the officer regarding the permit?
¿Qué le dijo al oficial en relación con el permiso?
Yo le dije que yo lo iba a sacar.
I told them that I was going to obtain it.
So you did the work even though you didn't retrieve the permit, but you knew that you needed it.
Pero usted hizo el trabajo aún sin tener el permiso y sabiendo que lo necesitaba.
Cuando nosotros fuimos a someter el permiso, yo le pregunté a la muchacha y ella dijo que yo podía continuar con este número del permiso. Por eso
Well-
nosotros lo hicimos.
Well, when I went to obtain the permit, the young lady told me that I could continue I could continue the work using this number, and that's why we continue with the work.
I'll be more specific for you.
Una
On
pregunta más
February
clara.
5th, 2019, you
Febrero
said you
5.
were going to apply for the permit, and you actually didn't until February 11th, correct?
El febrero 5 usted dijo que iba a pedir el permiso, pero en realidad usted fue en febrero 11, ¿no es verdad?
Porque tenía que pagar primero la multa que me hizo él para yo poder sacar mi
Can you just
permiso.
answer that
And-
question? Is that
and-
correct?
First, I had
Ver-
to pay.
you gotta let him interpret so that I know what she said, and then
sorry.
you jump in.
First, I had to pay the fine that was imposed by the officer.
Okay. Can you please go back and answer my question? Before you applied for the permit on 2/11/19, you knew that you had to apply for a permit, correct?
Antes de ir a sacar el permiso en febrero 11, usted sabía que tenía que sacar permiso, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Yes.
And you did not pull that permit and were conducting the work on your property, correct?
Y usted no sacó permiso para hacer el trabajo en su propiedad, ¿verdad?
Todavía no.
Not yet.
But you still had the contractors do the work, correct? But you still had the contractors do the work, correct?
Pero aún así usted tenía los contratistas para que les hicieran el trabajo.
Cuando ellos llegaron, nosotros no sabíamos que ellos iban a llegar a hacer la cerca. Nosotros los teníamos, pero no sabíamos que ellos iban a trabajar ese día.
Well, when the contractors arrived, we did not know that they were going to start the work on that day.
Por eso no estaba en mi casa ese día.
That's why I was not present in my house.
Who did you hire to install the fence for your home?
I'm sorry again.
Who did you hire to install the fence for your home?
¿A quién contrató para que le instalen la cerca en su casa? ¿Quién?
Es que no fui yo, fue mi esposo.
Happens that it was not myself. It was done by my husband.
So you don't know any of the men that were at your house doing this work?
Entonces no conocía a ninguna de las personas que estaban en su casa haciendo ese trabajo.
No, solo el primero que llegó a hablar con mi esposo.
No, only the first person who came to speak to my husband.
How did you know that you needed a permit for this type of work?
¿Cómo sabía que necesitaba permiso para ese tipo de trabajo?
Is it because your husband works in roofing?
Es porque su esposo trabaja en techos. Exactly.
So you guys were well aware, correct?
Entonces estaban ustedes bien informados, ¿verdad?
Sí, lo que no sabíamos que había gas, porque soy nueva en comprar mi casa.
Yes, but what we did not know is that there was a gas line. I am new in buying a house.
Now, was this work absolutely necessary to do?
¿Ese trabajo era absolutamente necesario para hacerlo?
Sí, no tenía cerca.
Yes, I did not have a fence.
It was absolutely necessary. There was no way you could have waited until you got the permit so
Era.
everything was properly done so you can conduct the work?
Era absolutamente necesario, o sea que no podía esperar a sacar un permiso para hacerlo correctamente.
Tenía que hacer mi cerca.
I had to build my fence.
So you're saying that there was no way that you could have waited, correct?
Entonces lo que está diciendo es que no hay forma en que usted hubiese podido evitar hacer ese trabajo, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Now, was there some type of emergency that made you get this fence installed without waiting for the permit?
¿Hubo algún tipo de emergencia que le hizo instalar esta cerca sin permiso? No.
You spoke to Officer Perez that day, right?
En ese día habló con el oficial Pérez, ¿verdad?
¿Perdón?
Ese día usted habló con el oficial Pérez, ¿verdad?
And
Yes.
he told you cannot install that fence without a permit, right?
Y él le dijo que no podía instalar una cerca sin permiso, ¿verdad?
No.
No.
You had no idea that you could not conduct the work on your property
Usted no tenía ninguna idea de que usted no podía hacer trabajo en su
after
propiedad
this incident.
después de este incidente.
Yeah. Pero como saqué me dijeron que lo podía hacer. Por
Yes.
eso yo cometí ese error.
Yes, but since I got this, I continue doing the work. And that's the mistake I made.
What's this?
¿Y qué es esto?
La compré, que sometí el permiso para terminar mi cerca.
This is the proof that I submitted a request to obtain a permit.
So that is a submission of a permit request, correct?
Este es un pedido para conseguir un permiso, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Yes.
It's not the actual permit.
No es el permiso mismo, ¿verdad?
sí.
Yes.
You're saying that that's the actual permit that was granted already by the city?
¿Usted dice que este es el permiso que le dio la ciudad?
Me dijo que este era el número de mi permiso.
I was told that this is the number for my permit.
That's not your permit. All you did was submit it.
Bueno, eso no es un
request.
permiso, solamente es lo que presentó.
Judge, I have no further questions.
No hay más preguntas.
Okay. Closing?
I'm sorry.
Closing?
Yes. Is she going to say anything?
Oh,
¿Quiere decir algo?
I mean, she's already admitted to the violation. I think this testimony was for the purpose of the magistrate rendering a determination regarding
El testimonio
the
del
amount
Estado va a
of
ser una determinación
the
de
fine.
realidad con esto.
Judge? Oh, so no. I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
She has no further, do you have any further testimony or anything else you would like to say?
¿Tiene algún testimonio, algo más que usted quiere agregar, quiere decir?
Nada, que con esta experiencia ya aprendí y que lo siento mucho.
Nothing. With this experience, I have learned, and I am very sorry.
Your Honor, the next three things are the things that the city would like Your Honor to consider regarding whether Your Honor should levy the fine or not of $15,000. The first one is the gravity of the violation.
Primero es
Your
la
Honor
gravedad de la
witnessed or
violación.
listened to testimony from Officer Perez.
Hemos
You
escuchado el
also
testimonio del oficial
witnessed body-worn camera by Officer
y también después de que
Washim,
se
who was
visto,
present
el video del
earlier
oficial,
in this
de la
hearing.
policía.
And throughout that testimony of Officer Perez and combined with the BWC, Your Honor was able to see the area. You noticed all of the parties that were there. The police was there, code enforcement was there, the fire department chief was there. You heard from Officer Perez that as soon as he arrived, he was adjacent across the street from the property. He could smell the gas. You heard also that you could hear the gas. It wasn't something that was immediately fixed, as in
Bueno,
the gas was no longer leaking when they went there. You saw photographs as well as to they had to clamp the actual gas line in order to temporarily stop it. The fire department, the police department, even code were there for several hours trying to remedy this violation. How grave it was so bad that there's an elementary school in the area. It was a school day. There were passerbys that Your Honor also got to witness in the area, and you saw Officer Washim and Officer Antoine instruct them to go home, to get away from the area. They also had to close off the street to take the necessary precautions in case something were to happen because that gas was emanating for a couple of hours. Now, the second thing is any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation. There were no actions taken any
No
actions
tomamos
taken by the
ninguna
violator. In this
acción
case, the
en este
actions were
caso.
taken by the
En este
city,
caso, la
by
ciudad
the
tomó
fire
las
department,
acciones
who
del
had to reach out to a
Departamento de
private
Bomberos
contractor to come and fix, this actual gas leak, because the only thing that they were able to do was temporary clamp those
Porque ellos
gas
hicieron-
leak,
simplemente
that gas
hicieron-
leak,
pusieron un
in the
bloqueo temporal.
backyard. So there was nothing specifically done
no había
by
más
this
específico para
homeowner,
hacer.
herself, her husband, or anyone who
Y su
is
esposo,
living
nadie
in this
vino.
property. The reason being, and
Así que,
the city submits,
entonces,
is because it was already an uncorrectable violation.
bueno,
It
una
was
vez
something
más,
that
es
it was
una violación que
irreparable,
no se pudo-
irreparable or
pudo-
reversible, because
arreglar,
as soon
es
as it was done,
irreversible.
there was nothing else that could have
Una vez que se hizo,
fixed it
no pudo hacerse
right
nada
then
para
in the
arreglarlo.
moment, especially by the violator who did not do anything to correct the
Entonces,
violation.
nada que-
Lastly,
la persona que
Your Honor
no
can
pudo
consider
hacer-
any
no hizo
previous
nada para
violations
corregirlo.
committed by the violator, specifically as it relates to this case and
Bien,
and
proseguimos
this
con este
charge.
caso y con este caso.
There is no previous
No hay,
repeated
Ah,
violation
una
regarding
violación anterior
doing
que
work
haya
without a
sido
permit, but you did hear
repetido.
testimony from Officer Perez,
Hemos
who said that
escuchado
the
el
homeowner
testimonio
did
de Officer
previously
Pérez.
get cited for something else. So she knows that she's
Sí,
been living in this
anteriormente se le
property
dio
for the past
notificación
year,
por
and there
una
is a
otra
code,
cosa.
and that she is responsible for certain things. You also heard testimony from the
Y
homeowner
también
herself,
el testimonio
and she
de
told
ella.
you that she knew that she had to get a
Ella
permit
sabía que
to
tenía
do
que
this
sacar
work.
un
She did
permiso
not
para
get a
hacer el
permit to
trabajo,
do this work.
pero no hizo.
In fact, she didn't apply
Y,
until
verdad,
February
no
11th,
solicitó
which
sino
is
hasta febrero 11,
6 days after
6 días después
this violation occurred.
de esa violación.
Till this day,
Hasta
the
hoy día,
homeowner doesn't have a
todavía
permit,
ella no tiene permiso.
and she still went
y
as far as to
todavía
install
fue
this fence, and Your Honor saw
instaló la
photographs that were
cerca
taken by
y
Officer
vean las
Perez
fotografías
yesterday,
que sacó la
which
policía
shows that the work was
cuando
done.
muestran que el trabajo ha sido
The
hecho.
gravity of that, Your
Entonces, la
Honor,
gran-
is
más
that
grave de esto es
she
que
testified today
ella
that she did
testificó
not
hoy
know
día
that there
que
were
no s-
gas lines in her
que no sabía
backyard.
que había líneas
She
de gas.
still didn't get the permit, and then she still went ahead and
Ella no
got that
consiguió el
fence done,
permiso
which
y
means
todavía
that somebody
continuó con eso.
eventually had to go back there, who she contracted, her husband contracted, those owners contracted,
Ella contrataron
and
otras
put that
otras
fence up. They
personas
had to
para
dig,
hacer
they didn't know what
esa
other
cerca.
lines were back there, and this could have happened all over again.
Esto podía haber pasado otra vez.
And maybe the second time, I mean, we see that the
Tal vez-
fence is up, but maybe the second time not so lucky, where everyone had to get
La segunda
called
vez
out
podría
because
ser tal
there's
vez
some
más
other
grave,
line
entonces
that's
tal vez
rupturing
gente
back
no
there.
podría tener tanta
So
suerte como
she
la
has
primera vez.
clearly no
Así que
disregard
ella no
for
tiene cuidado
any of
por cualquier-
anything that happened
por
that
cualquier
day.
cosa que pasó ese día.
The city submits to Your Honor that
Entonces,
she
la
is in
ciudad
violation, that
dice
this
que
was
ella
very grave.
había,
And for that
violado.
reason, we're
Es muy
asking for the
grave.
max of $15,000. There are
Estamos
people that
pidiendo
could have
hasta un
seriously been
máximo de
hurt.
$15,000.
You heard the officer say she could have blown up that whole block. She had no
Y el
disregard
oficial
for that,
dice
and she
que
continued to do
toda la
that work
cuadra-
even
toda la
though she
cuadra
knew
podía
how
haberse
serious it was.
volado.
Today, she's crying on
Hoy
the
está
record.
llorando.
That day, Your Honor witnessed her
Ese día-
laughing
ese día
about
estaba
getting that
riendo,
ticket.
estaba riendo.
¿Puedo decir algo?
Can I say something?
Sure.
Seguro.
Cuando nosotros nos estábamos riendo, era porque un oficial era de mi país.
Un ratito. We were laughing because one of the officers was from my country.
Y él estaba diciendo algo y él me hizo reír, pero ya había pasado todo lo que me habían dado a mí.
Un momentito. He said something which made me laugh, but at that point everything had passed already.
Los bomberos ya se habían ido también.
The fire department had already left.
Y todos estaban riendo también, no solo yo.
Everybody was laughing, not only myself.
I'm not going to rebut that, Judge.
It's not necessary. I saw the video.
Okay.
I recall what was going on at the time. And the demeanor of everybody involved.
Bueno,
Um,
el juez va a hacer su determinación.
It is true that the work was done without a permit,
Es verdad que el trabajo se
which
hizo sin
led to
permiso, y eso como resultado
the rupture of
se rompió la línea
the gas line.
de la línea de gas.
And it is true
Y es verdad,
that as time went by,
y el tiempo pasó,
that the smell of the gas became more.
el olor de la gasolina,
apparent.
del gas era más fuerte.
It is also true
Y es verdad
that
también
the property owner
que el dueño de la propiedad
did nothing to repair
no hizo nada para
the
reparar
violation
la violación,
because the property owner was not present
porque el dueño no
at the
estaba
time
presente
that the violation
al
occurred.
momento de la violación.
And at the time that the property owner became aware of the violation,
Y cuando ella se enteró de la violación,
the fire rescue was already on the scene
los bomberos ya
and
estaban,
already attending to the repair of the
ya
violation.
habían atendido a la reparación.
And
de
although
esto.
the city has said that
Aunque la ciudad ha dicho
there was nothing that could be done,
que no se podía hacer nada más,
it is the firefighters who clamped the
los bomberos
rupture
eh,
enough so
cerraron con llave
that it was safe enough for
para
the
que esté seguro,
code enforcement
para que
officers
los oficiales puedan ir,
to go to the back, to the rear of the property
para ir a la parte de atrás de la propiedad,
to assess the initial violation.
para evaluar la propiedad, el daño,
It was safe enough for them to be in the front of the property
para ir al frente de la propiedad.
where the code enforcement officer issued the property owner
Oficial
the
hizo-
citation.
le dio la multa.
It was safe enough for the police
Y era
officer
seguro para que los oficiales
to
de policía
shorten the length of the barricade.
pudieran acortar
It was safe enough
las
that
barricadas.
the school was not even made aware,
Es-
of the
fue
violation,
seguro que la
of
escuela
the-
tampoco
of the
estaba
threat.
informada de esta
or at least there
violación.
was no evidence given that the school
No hay
was even made aware of the
Evidencia
of the threat.
sobre esto.
During the course of the video, you could
Entonces,
see
mirando el
the
video,
firefighters without any breathing apparatuses, without any additional protection,
los,
go back and
los
forth
policías no
between the
tenían
rear of the
ninguna máscara,
property
nada para
and the front of the
limpiar todo
property.
esto.
So it was safe enough for
Entonces,
that
era
to have
seguro,
occurred.
y eso es lo que
Or at
pasó,
least
eso es lo que pasó.
the violation had been remediated enough
Esta violación
for those
fue
things to have occurred.
remediado.
The line, based upon what
Entonces, la
I
línea,
heard in the video, was
viendo en el
actually
video,
is actually maintained by Florida City.
la
So which is why
Florida
Florida City
City
came out. So
y
Florida
Florida
City maintained
vino-
line.
Florida City es el que mantiene
And Florida City
esa línea.
came out
Y la Florida City vino
at some point, I don't know which point because
sé en qué
that was
momento
not
vinieron
given to
ellos.
us in the video. At some point, Florida City came out
y,
and repaired the
y
line.
ellos repararon la línea.
As such, with all these factors,
Entonces, con todos estos factores,
and taking into consideration that the property owner did pay the
considerando
$500
que ella
fine
pagó 500
as
de multa,
relates to the work being done
relación
without
con
a
el trabajo.
permit. She also testified to
Ella
the fact
testificó
that
también
once she applied for the
que una
permit,
vez
it
que
is her
solicitó el
understanding
permiso, ella
that they were
entendió que
that she was given a number and
se le
was
dio un
told that
número
the
a ella.
number indicated on the application was her permit number.
que ella pensó que ese era
And
el
I
permiso.
find that she is not her occupation
Su profesión
does not give her the
Ella
requisite knowledge
no le da
to be able to refute that
conocimiento
information if that was the
para
information that was given to her.
entender eso.
And she said it was because of that
Y ella dijo, debido a
that
eso,
they continued with the work,
continuó con el
believing that
trabajo, creyendo
she had done
que
enough
ella había hecho
in
lo
terms of
suficiente
obtaining a permit.
para-
Although
aunque
we know that that was not enough because we have far more experience
tenemos
than
más
she does
experiencia
with
nosotros
this
que ella.
regard. Absolutely, the incident was a grave incident.
Yo sé que es un incidente
It
grave
could have led
que podría
to the
ser-
destruction
sí,
of her own
una
property
destrucción de la propiedad misma de
and the
ella
property of others.
y la propiedad de otros.
However, that did not occur in this particular instance.
Esto no sucedió.
I believe that the property owner
Yo pienso que el dueño de la propiedad
is remorseful as it relates to
está arrepentida
this
en
incident
relación con este incidente
as we stand here today,
y está hoy día acá,
and she is more educated than
Esa-
she was
está más informada hoy
on
día
that day.
que en ese día.
So, I'm going to issue a fine
Bueno, voy a dar una multa
of $1,500.
de $1,500.
No, excuse me. What was that thing at? Can you see that paper? Can you see that paper?
1 second. Specifically 2120?
Yes.
De acuerdo con el código
Just want to be
2120,
sure.
número 2120.
The violation did not exist
Bueno.
beyond that day, correct?
La violación no existió más.
Judge,
a partir
she
de este
ended
día.
up fixing the fence, so
I'm not
without
talking
the
about-
permit still,
I'm not
so we
talking-
don't know.
I'm not talking about the fence. I'm talking about the 5-29C did not
No estoy
exist.
hablando de la cerca en este momento,
after
estoy
that
hablando
day,
de
right?
esa, de la otra parte.
We are uncertain on when the gas line was completely fixed.
Nosotros no sabemos
We
cuándo
don't have a
fue
date.
esta
Florida
línea de
City
gas
wasn't
fue
called out on
arreglada
that day?
completamente.
They were called out on the date, but I was not given a report saying it was completely fixed. I'm sure the property owner might have that information of when it was completely fixed.
As we see here today, it's been remedied as far as the
Yo
city
veo que ha sido arreglado.
understands. Is that
Yes, Judge, it's been remedied.
okay?
Ha sido arreglado, dice ella.
I'm gonna levy the fine of $1,000
La multa es de
plus any cost that the city incurred
de $1,000.
or incurs with regards to Florida City
Yeah.
having to make repairs to that
Eso
line.
tiene que ver con las operaciones que hizo Florida City sobre eso.
That is my decision.
Esa es mi decisión.
Just so that the record is clear,
Para tenerlo claro,
it is because I do not find
es porque
that the
yo no creo
violation
que la violación
was irreparable or irreversible.
irreparable o irreversible.
Gracias. El Señor lo bendiga.
Thank you. God bless you. May I be dismissed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
No, I mean it's up to you guys. Let's go. They said you owe them lunch. I was about to say that's your witness. Right, it's one of y'all witnesses.
You shouldn't make them suffer like that, though. That's what I'm saying. Just make them wait like that. 4 days later.
Item number 9, CERCV 2018-00227. Alfred Golding, Officer Shanna Sanders.
Is this the
So
one
we still
that-
not gonna hear it because he's a witness?
Yeah, you gotta hear it.
Oh,
Gotta
okay.
hear it. Let's hear him. That case, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, Galinsky. CESTR 2018-00009.
You don't know.
Item number 46, CSTR 2018-00009.
Yes.
David Golinsky,
Yes.
property 2100 Northeast 121 Road, Officer Vanessa Willis.
There's no
Thank
one here
you.
on behalf of this property, Inspector.
Vanessa Willis, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. This property was cited October 9, 2018. Please cease and desist operating a short-term rental at this property as governed by the City of North Miami's Ordinance 29-5-1602. There was an incident report, 2018. The number of the incident report is 2018-000-38440. He was previously cited and adjudicated with liens, so I would ask, this is going to be a repeat violator. In addition to him being on the docket today, this property was posted February 8th, 2019 at 2:44 p.m. So at this time, I have a resident here. He can attest that they're still doing the short-term rentals there. There's different people that are coming and going from that property. And we're also asking that it be cited as an irreparable and irreversible violation as well.
Why?
Why? Because you can't undo it. It's already been done. Usually when these people come to the property, what happens is they're drag racing down the street. It's usually, I don't know any other way to say this, but usually it's unsavory
Denied.
residents that are coming to rent at that location. There's parties. What they've done, and I'm only going by what the residents are telling me.
It's-
But
it's short-term-
sorry?
Short-term rentals or the continuation of short-term rentals.
Mhm.
It's not irreparable or irreversible. I'm assuming that the city has an ordinance that prevents this situation, the Airbnb situation. I'm assuming this is an Airbnb situation,
It is.
and that the city has an ordinance that prevents Airbnb from operating.
No,
They
they're
operate.
allowed. It can't be more than 4 times in a year. So, you know, this is the problem that we're having at that location. Every week, most times, every week, there's a different person renting. They're shooting adult videos from that location.
So the ordinance requires that, or the ordinance limits the short-term leasing to 4 times a year.
Yes.
Okay. Put on your case.
Say it again.
Put on your case.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm going to give the witness the opportunity to tell us what's going on at the property. Thank you.
Okay.
William Welsh, 1180 Northeast 118th Road, past president for the last 4 years of Santa Souci Homeowners Organization. This gentleman has been a constant problem for the neighborhood in having short-term rentals. Our past code enforcement officer, Ed, was actually chased down the street by his tenants with guns. Thereafter, he had to have the police escort him every time he went to the property. He's rented it without permits to videos, including adult videos. He's had
How-
minors
how do you know
having
the-
parties there.
How do you know these things?
Being in the neighborhood, all the neighbors do not want to be there because of him. Every other road has 1 or 2 houses for sale. That particular street has 6,
Have you
not
witnessed
including the
the things that you just testified to? Have you
Beg
personally
pardon?
the things that you just testified to? Did you personally witness the thing?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
The things that you just testified to, did you personally witness these things?
I've witnessed the parties. I've seen the girls in the house. I've had.
Where do you live as it relates to this?
I live on
property?
120 Road.
And this property is located.
I'm the next
121
street
Road.
over.
So you're the next street over.
I've had Ed and the police officers inform me about different parties and what they have done. They've had to go over there at 2 and 3 in the morning to pick up underage children that were passed out on people's lawns, the trash, they because they were underage and drank too much, they threw up over their lawns. The neighbors just around the corner from them have to put up barricades on their property to stop the parking. I've witnessed them racing up and down the street myself. I have witnessed buses coming into there, dropping people off. I've witnessed people walking up and down the streets, coming and going to that house, and not just 1 or 2 people, groups of people. I've had a person who rented the house and found out subsequently it was illegal to do it, but he complained that the owner would come in and just sit around smoking dope and going through his properties. One of the other neighbors, I did not witness it, but I did call the police about it, had witnessed one of his people shooting at manatees. It's just become a terror of our neighborhood. We do have 2 problem houses, but this one is just driving the people away. And it's changing our neighborhood permanently and irreparably. You can't have your longtime residents just move away because they're afraid of one person without, changing the neighborhood.
So, if I were to find this person guilty,
I'm a little hard.
if I were to find this person guilty, I guess I'm talking to council.
Oh, just one other little thing. He went down to the bankruptcy court, and even though it's illegal in North Miami to do short-term rentals, he stayed off a foreclosure by claiming that's his business of renting this house as a short-term rental.
If I were to find this person guilty of this particular offense, how does that solve this problem?
He,
Wasn't he previously fined for the same thing? Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, the microphone is not on. I don't know which person she's saying.
So specifically to 2100 Northeast 121 Road, this is a separate property, but there's another property in Keystone that the city previously has been speaking to this person's counsel, and we requested a reset till April because there was something that we were going to be working on regarding what he can or cannot do regarding these rentals, as in something being grandfathered in for him because of when he bought it. This property is totally different. I'm not aware of anything regarding this property that we're working on for him, but for this, so that's probably why he's a repeat violator, because he had all of those citations on that other property in Keystone.
But doesn't repeat violation has to be this particular property?
Is there?
It is. This particular property has already, I believe it was under Edmund Fitzell when he was here. He had already cited them. It was already adjudicated. And
How long ago?
It looks like sometime in 2018. I have my computer in the back. I can give you an exact date. But as far
You kind of need that for repeat violations, don't
okay,
you?
I can get it for you.
Yeah.
I can get it. Bear with me for one moment.
Your Honor,
Repeat is within a particular
Your Honor,
period
if I
of
may
time.
add one last thing.
Sure.
He or his attorney went into one of the city departments and had a low-level employee sign that he had short-term rental grandfathering, which he did not. And even more irreputable, that city person was fired because he signed a letter that he didn't have authority to do, and he was not supposed to ever do it because there's very few grandfathered short-term rentals in this city.
Okay, you have several. Turn that. Oh. Give me 1 second. It just pushed it out. It might be down there. Yeah, minimized. I know there are at least 2 other instances back in 2017 that they were adjudicated as guilty. Give me 1 second, please. And thank you for your patience.
Wouldn't 2017 be too far removed to be considered a repeat violation in
No,
2019?
as long as the same property owner owns the property. Same violation type.
Doesn't it have to be within a certain period of time to be considered repeat?
I don't think so. He said it doesn't have to be in the same 2100 Northeast 121 Road. The length of time. 121 Road? Yes. Okay.
I'm almost sure that a repeat violation has a time frame. Correct. and I'm pretty sure that 2017 would be outside that scope.
Let's see what the year is. Give me 1 second.
If we're in 2019.
But it was cited, this particular violation is from, 18. It's just making it to the,
Oh, okay. I see October.
yes.
So I find him, he doesn't pay, and he doesn't stop. What happens?
We will continue to give him the violations
Every day.
until
He stops.
further. Yeah.
I just want the neighbor to understand that we can keep doing this, but this in no way divests him of his property in any way. He could actually pay the fine and continue to commit the offense.
He could.
Because it could be more profitable for him just to pay the fine and just keep and keep short leasing.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that to let you know that even if they meet their burden today, that doesn't do anything with regards to stopping this conduct.
We understand that. We understand government has limited ability,
April 10th.
but
April
if
10th. That's the only one that I
you
see. I didn't see any.
fine him irreparable damages and fine him 15,000 for each occurrence thereafter, this occurrence and thereafter, it will put a dent into his profit margin, which may make it no longer profitable to do that, and he may sell the house.
Yeah, but it's not irreparable or irreversible.
He's saying it's not irreparable or,
It's just a repeat.
irreversible.
It's just repeat.
Well, once you have all the it's irreversible for the whoever it was at City Hall to get fired off of his job, and he may never get a good job again because of that.
Because he broke policy. If that's true, it's because they broke
He
policy.
broke policy, but he or the lawyers told him he already had it, so it was nothing. The neighborhood is changing because he is his guests are terrorizing the neighborhood. You're finding children, underage minors, drunk, passed out on your lawn. You have drag racing of very expensive cars up and down the street. We've had Ed has been chased down with a gun, and the police have to come escort him up and down to the property. Those are things that cannot be repaired unless this person is gone. I mean, and the neighborhood may never be the same because those reputations long outlive the current situation. So in my whole heart, I believe it's irreparable. The secretary, who has been the secretary for the association for at least 8 years, is trying to sell his house, and he wants to move to Orlando to get away from this situation. It's
I have to look at the underlying violation. And the underlying violation is short-term rentals. And that in and of itself is not a violation that cannot be repaired or reversed.
Okay, so let's take it one at a time. So if we're saying that it can't be repaired, once the person is there, once the occurrence has taken place. So say, for example, I rent out the house next to you. I rent it out. I'm having wild parties. You know, I'm only there for a week, but every night on a work week, I'm having wild parties, loud music, the whole 10 yards. You can't undo those nights of when you couldn't rest. You can't undo whatever your family has seen, whether it's unsavory characters, whether we're having nude beach parties, whatever the case may be, at poolside.
Let me see that statute.
You can't undo it.
Gotta find it. want that?
Yeah.
And I just, cause and effect. Because of this, it has affected everything else for the property
the
owners.
argument's wrong, but
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
I know
Thank you. Yes.
I get the argument. I get the.
Thank you.
I have in my head why it fits the code. Okay. All right.
Your Honor, 5 years.
Oh.
5 years.
Yeah, y'all was working diligently on that back
Unanimous.
there, huh?
5 years. Okay, teamwork, right?
For real, they was back there working diligently on that.
My choir, my choir has,
All right.
yeah.
All right. Notice.
Notice, February 8th, 2019, at 2:44 p.m., the property was posted, AOS in the file. Property was also sent certified mail. The notice to appear was sent certified mail and posted downstairs as well.
All right. Having heard the testimony, evidence presented, the property owner failing to appear after having had proper notice, find that a violation does exist as cited. Let me.
Both. Thank you.
I'm going to find that the property owner to be a repeat violator of this particular action, and I'm going to find that the nature of the violation is irreversible, and that once a short-term lease has started, that it constitutes a single prohibited act which cannot be reversed, and as such, I find that it causes, it's irreversible in nature, and I impose a fine of $15,000.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Different situation.
I appreciate you.
Ain't playing with him no more. Out of playing with him. That man, they years. Now I was over there.
All right, let's call the rest of the cases. So,
Item number 9, CERCV 2018-00227, Alfred Golding, Officer Shanna Sanders.
I gave up my thing. Hold on.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. New case for a boat that's parked on the property without having an administrative variance. This violation was originally cited December 29, 2018. As of yesterday afternoon, 3:15 p.m., the boat still remained at the property and no administrative variance has been submitted to the city, no applications or anything of that nature. I am showing proper service was given. Notice to appear was posted at the property on February 5th, 2019 at 3:50 p.m.
All right. Having heard the testimony, evidence presented, the property owner failing to appear after having had proper notice, find that the violation does exist as cited. Issue an abatement date of March 13th or not abated by March 13th, then it's $250 per day until abated.
Item number 12, CEGMP 2018-00330, Alimentos, Venezuela, Officer Karen Jean Lewis. Item number 12.
police reports,
Because
did
otherwise,
it stack of police reports, all that?
you're gonna have stuff in between. You're gonna have stuff going on in between that's gonna go unnoticed. $15,000 each time.
Gotta have evidence.
Perfect. That's gonna add up.
Good afternoon, Code Compliance Officer Karen Jean Lewis. The property of 13337 Northwest 7th Avenue was cited to obtain a permit to pressure clean and paint the entire property by the reinspection date. Notice to appear was posted on the property February the 7th of this year at 12:22 p.m. Affidavit of service is on file, and as of today's date, which is the 20th, there has been no change.
Having heard the testimony and evidence presented, the property owner failing to appear after having had proper notice, find that a violation does exist as cited. Issue an abatement date of March 13th. If not abated by March 13th, then it's $250 per day until abated.
Item number 13, CERCV 2018-00229, Allison Molding, Officer Shanna Sanders.
This case was previously adjudicated. Is there any compliance?
This one I'm gonna ask, for it to be, tabled if possible. I did get a email from Community Planning and Development stating that they issued the property owner a preliminary approval. They're waiting until, they give a 30-day notice to the neighboring properties, to, call in and or notify them if they have any complaints, in
Alright.
reference to the administrative variance, but they have issued a preliminary and have asked me to possibly ask you to table this for 30 days. They don't see any, problem with issuing the variance. So by the, I think they said the 24th, if everything is in good standing, they're gonna issue the final administrative variance.
All right. April 17th.
Item number 14, CEEXP 2018-00145, Andrew K. Pucci, Officer Ernst Baptiste, and that's item number 14.
This case was previously adjudicated. Is there any compliance?
No compliance.
Let the fines go forward.
Item number 17, CENBR 2018-00091, Betty Walker, Officer Shanna Sanders.
The property owner has failed to appear. This case was previously adjudicated. Is there any compliance?
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. As of yesterday, 2:14 p.m., no compliance has been met.
Let the fines go forward.
Item number 19, CENUS 2018-02311, Bobby Barron, Officer Ernst Baptiste, and that's item number 19.
Ernst Baptiste, City of Miami Code Enforcement Officer. Case that was open for the condition of the exterior. Property was posted on February 4th. Took picture. The exterior of the wall still in the same condition. I have picture.
Okay. Having heard the testimony, evidence presented, the property owner failing to appear after having had proper notice, find that a violation does exist as cited. Issue an abatement date of March 13th. If not abated by March 13th, then it's $250 per day until abated.
Item number 20, CEFAW 2018-00327, Carlos Ramos, Officer Jose Perez, and that's item number 20.
There's no one here on behalf of this property. Officer?
City of North Miami Code Enforcement Officer Perez. We're hearing the case in reference to the property located at 570 Northwest 130th Street. This is in reference to the fence in the rear of the property that is in disrepair. The property was properly notified, and it was sent out certified mail, and compliance has not been met.
When?
January 4th.
All right. Having heard the testimony, the evidence presented, the property owner failing to appear after having had proper notice, finding a violation does exist is cited. Issue an abatement date of March 13th. If not abated by March 13th, then it's $250 per day until abated.
Item number 21, CESIP 2018-00067, Causeway Square LLC, Officer Vanessa Willis, and it's item number 21.
Vanessa Willis, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. I'm going to ask that this be removed. There's a special exception that was given by, I guess, management. Another officers was telling me, so I need to remove this one from. So
Let's not remove it. Let's table it. Let me
Only
confirm.
table?
Yeah, let's table it because I want to confirm that that's what, what was done. Let's not close it out, but table it. I want to.
It was the same.
Okay,
It's
so-
the same thing.
Oh, I thought you said close it. Oh.
I did. Yes, I said table it. Yes, please.
March 20th.
Thank you.
Item number 26, CENUS 2018-01351, Chai Properties 01 LLC, Officer Ernst Baptiste, and it's item number 26.
The property owner has failed to appear. Is there compliance?
No compliance.
Let the fines go forward.
Item number 28, CEBLR 2018-00053, Daniel Ragland, Officer Ernst Baptiste, item number 28.
There's no one here on behalf of this property. Officer?
Ernst Baptiste, City of Miami Code Compliance Officer, complied.
Case dismissed.
Item number 29, CEWAL 2018-00007, David Caden, Officer Vanessa Willis, item number 29.
Hey guys, if you guys have complied cases or cases that are going to be, you guys have complied cases, you can tell her at the beginning of the calendar so she knows.
Okay, well, I apologize. Yeah. We're no longer allowed to do that. Vanessa Willis, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. Because I need access to the waterway in order to determine whether or not they have complied. I was unable to get that taken care of, so I'm going to ask that we continue this case, please.
30 days?
Thank you. Yeah, 30 days is fine.
March 30th.
Thank you.
Item number 37, CEIVY 2018-00401, Duvernay Saint Cyrin, Officer Karen Jean Lewis, and that's item number 37.
Good afternoon, Code Compliance Officer Karen Jean Lewis. The property 1135 Northwest 127 was cited in reference to an inoperable silver Nissan Sentra that is parked on the front lawn with no valid tag. As of today, February 20th, there's been no contact from the property owner or tenant. The notice to appear was posted to the property on February the 5th of this year at 12:49 p.m. AOS is on file. There's been no change.
Having heard the testimony, evidence presented, the property owner failing to appear after having had proper notice, finding the violation does exist as cited, issue an abatement date of March 13th. If not abated by March 13th, then it's $250 per day until abated.
Item number 39, CELD DR 2018-00066, Enterprise 305 LLC, Officer Shanna Sanders. Item number 39.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. This is a new case that was opened October 22nd of 2018. It's under the land development regulations for not having the proper driveway installed. Just as you recall, if you recall what the previous, one of my first cases, having the rocks along the property, they're parking along that area. Seems like maybe, could have been a driveway there maybe some years ago, but now again it's rocks and grass and needs a proper driveway installed. I haven't had any contact with anybody at the property. It seems like it's possibly been vacant at this present time, but even still, as of yesterday, violation still remains. I am showing proper service was given. Notice to appear was posted February 5th, 2019 at 12:30 p.m.
Having heard the testimony and evidence presented, the property owner failing to appear after having had proper notice, find that a violation does exist as cited. Issue an abatement date of March 13th. If not abated by March 13th, then it's $250 per day until abated.
Item number 42, CEJNK 2018-00188, France Sterling, Officer Ernst Baptiste. Item number 42.
There's no one here on this property. And this case was previously adjudicated. Is there any compliance?
No compliance.
Let the fines go forward.
Item number 47, CEEXP 2018-00278, Gregory D. Smith, Officer Wayne Clark. Item number 47.
Property's in compliance.
Case dismissed.
Item number 50, CEBLR 2018-00070, Hampton Greens Properties, LLC, Officer Vanessa Willis. Item number 50.
There's no one here on behalf of this property. This case was previously adjudicated. Is there compliance?
Vanessa Willis, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. No, it is not in compliance.
Let the fines go forward.
Thank you.
Items number 54 through 61. 54, MHVIO 2018-01156. Item number 55, MHVIO 2018-01157. Item number 56, MHVIO 2018-01158. Item number 57, MHVIO 2018-01159. Item number 58, MHVIO 2018-01160. Item number 59, MHVIO 2018-01161. Item number 60, MHVIO 2018-01162. Item number 61, MHVIO 2018-01164. Hugh Manhue. 2, Investments, Officer Vanessa Willis.
There's no one here on behalf of these properties. These cases were previously adjudicated. Is there any compliance?
No, there is not.
Let the fines go forward on each case.
Thank you.
Item number 64, CEBPR 2018-00031, JD125 LLC, Officer Vanessa Willis. Item number 64.
There's no one here on behalf of this property. This case was previously adjudicated. Is there compliance?
Special Magistrate, unfortunately, I don't have a yes or no answer for you. I have to ask for continuance. The ownership changed, so I need to reserve for the new owner.
March 20.
Thank you.
Item number 65, CEWWC 2018-00123, Jean Claude, Officer Ernst Baptiste. Item number 65. Address is 12320 Northwest 12th Avenue.
Ernst Baptist, City of Miami. Quick enforcement officer. This is a case that was open for the roof that has a blue top on it. Property was posted on February 4th, 2019. To this day, no compliance.
Having heard the testimony, evidence presented, the property owner failing to appear after having had proper notice, find that the violation does exist as cited. Issue an abatement date of March 13th. If not abated by March 13th, then it's $250 per day until abated.
Item number 66, CEEXP 2018-000256, Jean Joseph Monasteer Trust.
There's no one here.
Officer Ernst Baptiste.
There's no one here on behalf of this property. This case was previously adjudicated. Is there any compliance?
No compliance.
Let the fines go forward.
Item number 68, CEPOM 2019-000001, Joanne Winokur. Officer Shanna Sanders. Item number 68.
I'm gonna ask that case be tabled. We're gonna send a crew out there to board it up, to cover the pool, but we're not gonna present it as a magistrate case. So let's table it until I see what we're gonna do about, getting the pool clean and or boarded up.